So, you're a BMW fan and you've seen this little cool, unique looking mini SUV thing driving around town and you're like, what is that thing? You probably had no idea what kind of BMW it was. Well, don't worry, I'm here to help you out and fill you in on this all new release from BMW. This is the all new 2020 BMW X2, and this is their take on the sport activity coupe rising market. Not to get that confused with the sport activity vehicle, which is what BMW characterizes their BMW X1 SUV as. One of the main characteristics that differentiates the X2 from the X1 is obviously its shape. The sleek, tapered roofline and narrower windows is a clear indication of BMW's intentions when it came to the design of this thing, which, of course, is a focus on style and compatibility and maintaining their mantra of superior driving, all while having a sporty presence. I'll be sure to include a few pictures of both cars to show you the difference between their appearance. So as usual, I'm going to walk you around this thing, show you the ins and outs, take it for a test drive, and do some acceleration tests from 0 to 60. So like I said earlier, this is BMW's take on a sport activity coupe, and it is currently the smallest SUV that BMW offers, excluding the i3 of course. BMW certainly does not tend to release cheap new vehicles, and in this particular X2 is no different. The starting MSRP for the S-Drive 28i model, as you can see here, is $36,600, while the M Sport X-Drive option costs $41,000. And if you don't already know, BMW has never released a front-wheel drive vehicle, but rather only rear-wheel drive or X-Drive, also known as all-wheel drive. This model, however, is the first front-wheel drive car that BMW has ever released, and they named it the S-Drive. This is certainly not the end of the world, but it was rather unusual for the rear-wheel drive performance car powerhouse. As we walk around this car, you might be a little confused about the exterior dimensions, as it looks like it's a bit smaller for an SUV. However, it's 172.2 inches in length, 71.8 inches in width, and 60.1 inches in height is just a few inches less than the more SUV-like BMW X1's exterior dimensions. Now let's take a look at the inside. So right off the bat, you can clearly tell BMW maintained its gorgeously equipped cabin with high quality finishes, ensuring a premium interior feel. This particular vehicle happens to be only equipped with a 6.5-inch standard screen, which can be upgraded to the 8.8-inch screen like the standard one you get in the BMW X1. Needless to say, the dashboard has a logical, uncomplicated layout that is very easy to use and operate. There are, of course, plenty of optional extras to customize the interior of your X2, including upholstery colors, heated steering wheel, and navigation, just to name a few. Of course, once you are inside of a BMW, there are plenty of settings that you can play around with and customize to suit you and your driving needs. For example, right underneath these four-way hazards, there is a Master Driving Assistance button that you can hold to shut off all driver assistance features, including lane departure warning and forward collision warning. To turn them all back on, just simply hold it down again. You can, of course, go into the vehicle settings section and fully customize each safety setting one by one. Down here is your climate control adjusters, where you can adjust the temperature for each side of the front cabin, exactly the same as most new BMW. This vehicle is also equipped with standard 3-level heated seats for both driver and passenger. Your auto start and stop switch is located to the left of the engine start and stop button, where you can turn it on and off by simply pressing it in. You'll know that it is disabled when the orange light is on. I personally prefer to always drive with it turned off. And this is the button for auto or manual air recirculation. Onto the gear selector down here. This car is equipped with an 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission with sport and manual shift modes. To put it in a drive, just simply hold down the button on the left side of the gear shifter and pull it down. To put the car into neutral, just simply push up half a gear. And to put the car in reverse, just push up all the way. And to put the car into park, simply press the P at the top there. To activate sport shift or manual shifting, just put the car into drive and slide the gear selector to the left, or you can upshift by pulling down and downshift when you push it up. These buttons allow you to toggle between the 3 different driving modes, which are Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. When the vehicle is in Sport mode, the gear shifting will be a little bit more aggressive and the car will shift at a higher RPM, all while tightening up the steering wheel feel a little bit. You can also have the car display the amount of horsepower and torque that you are using, which I think is a pretty neat touch. Of course, this is a BMW, which means that you can fully customize your screen setup to display whatever you want while driving. For example, you can have a weather column, news section, media, and much more. This car is just loaded with so much standard technology, which is super nice. There are just so many things you can have displayed in front of you, and so much to explore with just the standard options. BMW's iDrive system is just so easy to use. You can even have the screen display efficiency dynamics, which allows you to see how many miles per gallon you are currently getting in any driving mode. Speaking of miles per gallon, this car gets a combined MPG of 27, with 24 in the city and 32 on the highway, so not too bad at all. This particular vehicle is equipped with the convenience package, which includes a beautiful panoramic moonroof. With the convenience package, you also get a universal garage door opener, auto dimming rear view mirror, power folding mirrors, auto dimming interior and exterior mirrors, keyless access and keyless entry, and lumbar support. Alright, and now let's give this baby a few revs. Definitely doesn't sound bad at all. This is of course powered by a 2.0 liter BMW twin power turbo inline 4-cylinder engine that produces 228 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque. The windows are all automatic, of course, which you would expect in a premium luxury vehicle. And now let's move on to the power trunk, which you open by pushing up on this little trunk tab in the driver's door. You do get a 21.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity, which isn't too bad at all, to be honest, when you consider the narrow body style and sleeker new design. Close the trunk, just simply press this button here to the left. Now onto the rear seats, which may be my least favorite part of this car. So I am 5'10", and I wouldn't say this is uncomfortable back here, but I feel like I don't get as much headroom in the back. Of course, that shouldn't be a shocker considering the lower roof line. I would say that a 6-foot passenger or taller may have some difficulty sitting in the back here, given its 36.7 inches of rear legroom, which isn't too much. I would say if you plan on driving taller passengers in the rear seats quite often, you might want to reconsider and possibly exploring the new BMW X1 instead. The interior quality is certainly not compromised in the rear seats at all. It still looks and feels very much like BMW's luxurious quality. These windows are automatic. I just have the window lock enabled up front. There's another cup holder in the door as well. All in all, this is definitely a great looking car. Although it's smaller and shorter, stature may throw some people off, it's still an attractive vehicle. Man, does BMW know how to make a great looking car, let me tell you. Now there's just one more thing left to do, and that's, of course, take this thing for a test drive and see how it really performs. Let's put this thing in sport mode and check it out as we go. Let some of this traffic pass. Now, I'm not going to get my hopes up here. After all, this is the slowest X2 model you can buy. Okay, it's definitely not a slow car. I mean, you can easily pass cars pretty confidently. I know I should definitely have my seatbelt on. Sorry about that. But one thing I do have to say though is the ride quality is not good at all. I mean, maybe it's just because it's a lot lower to the ground, you know, but this thing is definitely not one of the more comfortable BMW SUVs up here. But I mean, it's okay. You get this car to zip around town, not to necessarily have a premium ride quality. Alright, and now for 0 to 60 test. Sport mode enabled. Here we go. Oh wow, okay. Did not think we were gonna get any wheel spin here, but alright. This thing will go from 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds at top speed of 144 miles an hour. So who's this car for? This car is for the everyday driver who isn't too concerned with ride comfort and vehicle versatility or capability, but rather someone who wants to enjoy their car while still getting that quality BMW driving experience. This car doesn't sit as low to the ground as a BMW sedan, but it also doesn't sit as high as a traditional SUV. It's sort of right in the middle there. And that's gonna do it for this review, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. If so, please be sure to let me know down below by clicking that subscribe button. It's free, you know, who cares? Just do it. Also, let me know in the comments what car you want to see next. If you want me to stick with SUVs, just let me know, since everyone nowadays wants to drive an SUV. Thank you all so much for watching. Be safe out there and have a great day.